Okay, I had a heart-to-heart with Margaret last night, and we came to terms with my dilemma, and she offered some wonderful input. So let's see what we think. There is a switch now. The soundboard works on a battery. Little bell just lets you know the sound's on. And then we turn on the main power. I have a switch over here for that. And then I had to bring in one of my blunderbuss, a 15B, because it works for me. Oh, well, it did. There we go. It takes it down to a crawl at 30 miles an hour. Real good chuff. The infrared boys just left the barn. I don't know what happened. They were working and then they just stopped. And then I tried another one, and it just went downhill so fast. I just put them in a bag, and I went back to the tried and true limit switch with the cam. The cam is from Andy, the limit switch is from me. I didn't print the new bracket, but I will, and it'll be narrower and prettier and all that stuff. But as you can see, we now have chuff. That chuff trigger is pulsing the fan, but for some reason I'm not getting the heat at this low speed. I have my voltmeter set on the heater, and it's at 6.5 volts, and it needs to be around 7 to get good smoke. So if I jack it up a little bit, you see we're at 7 now, and just barely see a little fuzz of heat, of smoke, maybe. Well, there it is. Now it's coming. It's not as healthy as I would like. It does get healthy when you crank the heck out of it. Gets up to 7 volts, but as soon as it gets up to 7 volts, the regulator kicks in and starts lowering the power, and it's doing that by design. Okay, that's kind of what I want it to do, but for some reason I think it's set to come down too soon. So I might have to change my reference resistor. I just lowered it from 22 to 10, so I'm going to try to put 2 10s. That gives me 5, and we'll see what happens there. It can't be 0, but it's got to be something reasonable. If you have a load, you're going to hear the chunk, because this is where it comes in. And if I take it up to 60, it starts to top out. But if I'm pulling cars, that's what you'll hear. Yeah. Now the whistle I'm still working on. This is I had to go back a few revisions, and this does not have the right horn sound on steam whistle. So I'm going to have to replace it, but at least I have something that functions the way I want it to. It's doing everything I can ask of it. And we just need to tune up the smoke, which was a little light when I ended the testing earlier, so I'm not too surprised. But I'm going to be building 5 or 6 engines, so I'm going to have plenty of time to iron out the right levels of smoke and the right values for things. Right now, I've got the soundboard on a battery through a charger, and this is sending it 5 volts nice and clean. And you can turn the sound off with a switch here, and then it's charging the battery in between. Then I'm also running a oh God, is that screaming hot? A buck boost board. That is hot. I don't know what it's running at. I'll test it later. But I'm sure what it's doing is it's pulling down the voltage a lot. It doesn't like to run slow. So I'll crank it up a little bit. The rectifier is hot too. So this combination is making everybody angry a little bit. Makes them hot. There you can see the smoke starts to kick in a little bit here. I don't know if you can see see it. I can see it. It doesn't come out well in the camera though. There's too much light or not enough light. I don't know. Anyway, there's some smoke. I'd like it to be higher. I think it can be. I'll just have to work on that reference. That's what I need. And make sure I'm not getting this guy overheated at the same time. The motor's running extremely smooth. The fields are working beautifully. I'm building some more fields for people. I'm building some lights and mediums and heavies. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be great. If this new board is not even warm. And the rectifier for that is not even warm. So maybe I should split the load here. I don't know. But in any case, I can say pretty much that we're chugging along now. I'm going to be ironing out. I'm going to iron out the heat problem here. I'm going to put I have somewhere a heat sink. I'm going to put on there to get some of the heat out faster. And I might put heat sink on these guys just to keep them cool. And then I built a new holder of parts, and I've made it longer. And the reason, well, maybe this isn't the right one. Maybe it's not. The longer one is somewhere. I hope I got it somewhere. It pulls back from here, gives a little more room, but it also leaves access for, if we need it. I have found a little fan from like the PC guys stuff, so I could put that fan on and help cool this thing down if I needed to. But I feel like we're really now, after I don't know, a few weeks in the dark, I'm feeling better about everything. I had to go backwards a few steps. I had to go backwards in the version of the software. I had to go backwards in the sensor, but I will investigate. Maybe it's the type or brand, you know. I got these, God knows where, no name, shipped from China. So there you go, right? Got to have reliability. These switches are very reliable. If I'm not messing with the sound, you know, if I'm not bouncing and creating noise, then maybe that'll work out. So I'm going to make some tweaks to the sound, tweaks to the smoke, and just keep chugging away. That's where we are today. And I think we're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It will smoke. I would like it to be more responsive. You know, if you throw in the gas, you want to see the smoke. I'll see what's going on with my reference detector. It may be my thermistor is not at the right level. It needs to be different. I know I've got a good heater in there, so. Okay, more later, gang. Take it easy. Yeah, coming into port. Later.